Ever wondered how a guide dog goes to the toilet on a cruise ship? Here's your answer. It's Mel here. Welcome back to the channel for another video. It's actually Mel of the future here. I'm going to be popping in and out during this video because I was too busy having fun on my cruise and forgot to do some little talky bits. So here I am back in my bedroom a few days later. I have just taken my guide dog Penelope on her first ever cruise, and it was an amazing experience. We cruised from Adelaide to Melbourne, which I will put a map up somewhere of Australia with Adelaide and Melbourne pointed out, but it's only a very short distance by Australian standard, less than 1,000 kilometers. We travelled, as you saw, by train over to Adelaide, spent the night in Adelaide, and then got on the ship. So here's a little map of Australia with Adelaide and Melbourne highlighted. As you can see by that, it's not very far. So it only took us 3 nights and 2 days, but that was including a 12-hour stop at Kangaroo Island, which is just off the coast of South Australia. I went with my friend Judy, who also has a channel called Living on 6 Wheels, which will be linked in the description down below. I was supposed to go with Mum and her dog Remini, but Mum wasn't able to travel, so luckily Judy was able to come, and I think she enjoyed herself. So one of the first things was obviously embarkation. So before the cruise, I did all of my embarkation paperwork on Princess Cruises' website. Now, from an accessibility standpoint, some of that wasn't too great, so I used Ira, who I will link down below, which is an app that I absolutely love to control my computer and get the information that I needed put into the website. I also was able to get Judy to help me log into the Medallion app, which is the new Princess Cruises way of cruising. Medallion is really, really clever. It enables you to have an almost completely touchless cruise. You don't have to give your cruise card to people to pay for things anymore. You can order drinks and snacks to your cabin or wherever you are out and about on the ship. Medallion is really clever. So I was able to log into the Medallion class app with some sighted assistance, and then after that I was able to use the app fully independently. So one of the first things that we discovered was obviously our room, which I've done a tour of our cabin in another video, so I'll link that down below. Now, you will probably be wondering, how did the dog go to the toilet? We'll get back to that later. We're back to embarkation. With embarkation, we just had to show our Medallion class app with our check-in completed. We then had to show our passports and our negative rat tests, which we completed the same morning that we got on the ship. We also had to show our vaccination certificates, and that was all done digitally. Now, because of the dog and because Australia has some of the strictest quarantine and biosecurity in the world, I also had to complete some quarantine biosecurity documents beforehand. So what I had to do was I had to get approval to travel with the dog from the biosecurity team at the Australian government. I then had to proceed to go to the vet no more than 8 days before the trip. I actually went on the 20th and we left on the 24th. And I had to have an external parasite put on the dog. So an external parasite protection, which will prevent fleas and ticks and other kinds of parasites from getting on the dog's skin. And the vet had to sign off that he had given that external parasite preventer and that he had made sure that she didn't have any contagious diseases, etc., etc. And then the government gave me a final approval to travel with the dog, which I saved and presented to the cruise line on embarkation. Now, I didn't print my paperwork because I wasn't told that it was necessary. I found out on disembarkation that it was, so in future I'll always print out that documentation instead of just saving it on my phone. So when we got on the ship, we discovered our room. Unfortunately, it wasn't an accessible room because I was planning to travel with my mum and not Judy until 5 days before the trip. So we didn't have an accessible room, but normally Judy and I would. But we managed. So I'll link my room tour down below. Now, one of the first things was that I had to know my way around the ship. I had a friend produce some tactile maps of the ship for me, and I spent a lot of time studying those maps before I went. But also the Grand Princess is in the Grand class of ships owned by Princess Cruises. And as a matter of fact, I have been on a Grand class ship before on the Golden Princess. So that was very good because I knew quite a lot of the way around the Golden Princess because I'd been on it 5 times before. So there were just a couple of little things that had different locations on the Grand Princess as opposed to the Golden Princess that I learnt where those things were on the Grand Princess. I will insert a clip here of me having a look at the tactile maps. So the next thing was finding out about the dog's toilet. Princess had knowledge that the dog was coming on the ship, obviously, and so they set up the dog's toileting area in a crew-only section on our deck. It wasn't very far to get from our cabin to the dog's toileting area. It would have been probably between 50 and 100 meters away from our cabin. And so here is the guide dog toileting area on the Grand Princess. We've got a little tray, which is a bit like a litter tray, which is probably, what would you say, 1.5 meters squared?
Mm-hmm.
And it's filled with bark chips. And then in the corner there, we've got all cleaning products and bags for the waste. And that was all provided by the company when we booked and told them that we'd have a service dog. So, quick, come away. Quick, quick. Good girl. Quick, quick. So now that she's done her wee, like we do at home, we're going to put her toilet bag on. Come here. Come put your bag on. Pen. Good girl. So we're going to clip this around her backside. And she's still going to poo over the tray, but the poo will go in the bag. And then you'll see, I think it's a red bag there on the floor beside the tray. What's going to happen is when the bag has poo in it, I'm going to put it in that red bag. And the crew, the crew will dispose of that in the appropriate manner to do environmental management. Obviously that area isn't always set up for the dog. They set that up because we were coming, and it was really, really good, really convenient. She took to it incredibly quickly. She's always been a really good toileter. She's only once had an accident whilst in harness, and that was during training. So she's always been a fantastic toileter, and that was one of the big advantage was taking her on the cruise, was because I knew that once I'd shown her her toileting area, she would use it and there wouldn't be any problems with that. So that was absolutely fantastic. Now, one of the other things was safety, and Princess have thought of everything, and the dog and her safety was no exception. Ladies and gentlemen, on board a cruise ship, safety is paramount. One of the first things that you do on embarkation day is you listen to your safety documentary on your stateroom television. You then proceed to your muster station and have your medallion scanned. And the most important thing about the safety video is that you are taught how to put on your safety vest for buoyancy should you need to enter the water. However, this cruise I'm traveling with my guide dog Penelope. So what happens to her when we enter the water? Well, double. Look at this. Double. Penny has her own safety vest. Isn't that just the cutest thing you have seen all day? A dog in a safety vest. And my camera lady is now going to describe to my vision impaired friends what the dog's safety vest life jacket looks like.
Okay, it's held on by 3 straps, one around the breast of the dog and 2 around the body of the dog. On the top, it's the actual flotation device. It's same materials as the human life jackets that we would have to wear, not as bulky, of course, because the weight, it's more the size of a child's life jacket. So that's why it's not big and bulky like we would wear. Also, it's red and black. I don't exactly know why. There's no particular reason. Sometimes life vests are orange and black. The ones on this particular ship are red and black. Also, underneath the life vest is a light that will activate As soon as the dog hits the water, it's the same thing that happens with humans.
Isn't that just the cutest thing? Like a little vest, safety vest for the dog. Yeah, that was just too cute. I couldn't resist that. That was just the cutest thing. She wasn't a big fan. She doesn't like wearing things. She's pretty good with her harness and her raincoat and that, but she doesn't like wearing things very much. But it fitted and she wore it, but it wasn't her favorite thing to do. So we've spoken about her toileting, but what about her feeding? Well, of course, I provided all of Penny's food for the trip, and this is a little clip of her having her dinner on the ship. Penny girl, where are you? Is it time for a bit of dinner? Right, let's go to the wardrobe and get you a bit of dinner. Here's the dinner. Right, let's go out onto the balcony. Shooty, would you like to bring the camera out onto the balcony, please?
I might consider doing that.
Oh.
Just don't have me in it, please.
Good. Some food. I've been using these, it's at the label, these Complete Calm treats, one in each of her meals, just so that she doesn't get too anxiety on the cruise. I often do that when I'm on holidays. Good girl. It's a nice view. Lovely place to have dinner, really. Sounds like it's all gone. Is it all gone? Was that a good bit of dinner? Good girl.
Just checking.
Hope you're not licking the floor. It's gone, love. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, girlie. Another. And it's 6 o'clock, so there'll be trolleys. There's one trolley. Good girl, find the way. Good. One step at a time. Yes. Good girl. We're going into the captain, baby. Captain's champagne afternoon tea thing. Good
Good girl. Good
One of the
girl.
main reasons why I decided to take the dog was to see whether it would improve my mobility around the ship, to see whether I would be more comfortable and confident traveling around a ship with 3,500 people on it. And the short answer is yes, it did. We did have one little incident where she got lost and bumped me into something, but that was in a place where I wasn't confident and that I don't like and that I didn't know my way around. And I gave her too much responsibility, which I shouldn't have done, and I ended up bumping into something. But overall, having the dog on the ship was a lot easier for my navigation. I didn't find it too hard in crowds. She was pretty good in the crowds. It went really well, and I'll probably definitely do it again. So the other thing is the service trolleys that they have in the hallways, which they need to do all the cleaning of the cabins and stuff. I don't think I ran into one of these ever on this particular trip. I usually at least bump into them, hit them with my cane or something like that when I'm traveling with just a cane. But the dog found her way around them really nicely and easily. Let's have a little look now at us walking down the corridor towards the lifts and stairs on our way to the Captain's Circle party, and a little bit of a look at how she managed in the crowds at the Captain's Circle party.
Penny girl, we're going to go and find the Vista Lounge all by ourselves.
Okay, girlie.
Another. And it's 6 o'clock, so there'll be trolleys. Oh, there's one trolley. Good girl, find the way. Good. One step at a time, yes. Good girl. We're going into the captain, baby. Captain's champagne afternoon tea thing. Good girl. Good girl. Go to the lifts. Let's go to the lifts. Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
that's okay.
Left to the lift. To the lift. Left to the lift. Good dog. Now find a button. Button. Nope, no button there. Oh yes, there's the button. I think I pressed down, not the up. I don't know. Now we have to listen for the lift, Pen. Good girl.
This one.
Oh.
Down.
Left. In the lift.
This one.
Up in the lift. Good dog. Thanks,
There
sir.
you go, darling.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good hush.
Where are you going?
7.
Yeah, we're already there. Right.
Girlie. En avant. Bon chien. Right to go. Yes. Good girl. Nice and steady. Oh dear.
You're invited to a special event.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Sorry. Red light. Looks like we're queuing, girlie.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you.
That's right, yeah. Who's the captain?
Hello,
Nice
Chris.
to see you.
Captain. Nice to meet you.
Who's your dog
This
here?
is Penelope.
Can I say hello? Very
Do
briefly.
you mind sit if I take a photo of her
Sit,
with you?
sit.
I can help.
Oh, look at this. I don't do this for many people. I tell you.
So that's pretty much it, guys. She did such a great job during this cruise. As you saw there, she got to meet the captain at the Captain's Circle party, which was really good. We had a really nice captain this trip. His name was Chris. He was from England, and he was he was really, really good. So all in all, would I go on a princess cruise with my dog again? Yes. When I go on any cruise with my dog again, well, look, I personally prefer to cruise with Princess. I may be going on a P&O cruise later on this year, so we'll see how that one goes. But I hope you have enjoyed this video of my guide dog's first ever cruise. If you've got any comments or questions you'd like to know, something I didn't cover, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to Mel's Blind Life and click the bell notifications, and I'll see you next time.